So, welcome to another episode of How Dumb Are These Transitions and How Bad is Pat at Transitions. Today's going to be dumb because I'm tired and I've been practicing for, it was 3 hours, I guess. And I tried something and failed miserably, but it actually sounded kind of interesting. So, yeah, I'll show you I'll show you the transition. I think it works. I think it works. Uh, and, yeah. Anyway, I'll do the transition and then I'll come back. Okay, so that was a transition. Kind of silly, right? Kind of. I was laughing. I was laughing right before I recorded this. The couple reasons for this. I am really tired, so my cats are not. Where's they have a little toy thing? Anyway, not important. I'll get to that in a minute. So yeah, I'm tired, so everything sounds good. But no, so a couple of things. I did that in Catch already. I did the trance in Catch already. Um, but I think it still works because it's a bit different, right? It's not exactly the same. It starts out slow, goes a bit faster. It masks the mids because the mids transitioning the mids. Last video for drifting away in Catch, I complained about Catch being like muffled or unclear, and I think it's just the song itself. Because this is like Catch and Carte Blanche are supposed to be exactly the same key, so there's no reason that should be discordant, right? So I'm thinking maybe the clarity of Carte Blanche and the kind of muffled quality that Catch has, or the busyness that Catch has, might have something to do with the fact that the mids can't like mid anything. So that's a really fun way of fun. That's a really I think it of mix of masking the mids being changed around and sounding a bit off and still keeping the energy up. Uh, so the only thing I kind of wish I had a couple other hands because in the mix itself, I did the I turned up the mids in near the end of the transition. I turned up the mids in Carte Blanche, and then did a high pass on Catch. Like turned up the high pass filter on Catch, and that's kind of how I didn't deal with the mids on Catch, because yeah, it just sounds weird, and it might just be Catch, or it might just be my ears, but yeah. So and that's another this I think is a bit more high energy way of dealing with that, because I when the trance starts, it's slower, right? It's like every one beat, and then it goes half a beat. So it just kind of catches the energy, and then it starts off right as it finishes off right as Carte Blanche starts. So not bad. The only thing that oh boy, that maybe you want to change is that I stopped the trance. I turned off Catch at this bar. You can kind of, I guess, slowly lower the mid EQ throughout this bar and finish it off here instead. Because I probably didn't count properly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, okay, so that'll be the 8th bar. So it might be better just to turn down the mids a little bit, like kind of wind it down, and then finish it off sometime in that bar. Because by the time the mids are done, you can't really hear because you switch the bass. I switched the bass really early. I didn't change the bass at all, or the low EQ, not the bass. The low EQ. I didn't change the low EQ at all. How I did it between the mix two and then here. The highs I didn't touch at all. I didn't really touch flange or anything else. I did try a couple different things, but I'm like, let me just try trans, I guess, because it might work. And then by mistake, or by default, the trans goes to one beat. And then I'm like, that's kind of weird. And then I just changed it as their song was playing. I'm like, I'm gonna fix it, and I changed it, and it kind of sounded interesting. So like, well, that's kind of interesting, but like super dumb. And I kind of fiddled with it a bit more, and I'm like, yeah, it can work. So that's kind of how I think I probably would transition if I had to redo it now. I mean, I can just redo the mix now and transition, like, but you know what I mean, right? If I knew now what I knew then, that's kind of how my first transition would be. Um, I was gonna say something else, but I forgot. It's also not super important, I guess. It was about transitions. Well, I don't know. I guess I'll remember or I won't. But yeah, so that's the transition for this. Let me know what you think. I probably prefer this because it does. Oh, the other thing I wanted to say is that like, if you're one of those people, right, between the second and third song, I kind of do the same thing, and then between the third last to the before last song, I do this. It's kind of like mirroring. It's kind of like literary motifs and stuff, right? You kind of mirror what you did at the beginning at the end. So that's another thing, but I don't think anybody cares about that. But anyway, let me know what you think about the literary mirroring of my mixes, and let me know what you think about that transition. I'll be back tomorrow for the last transition of this mix, see if I can figure out a better one. See you later. Bye.